Hey everyone, welcome to the Big Fitness Show, episode number 45. My name is Stevie Richards. I am the student. I'm joined by my business coach here, Big Mike Barons, who just did a 2 hour. How much do I owe you for an hour and 40 minutes or something like that of advice? And I have to say, you said it last week. I appreciate, in all seriousness, I appreciate you so much. In the time we talk before and after these shows that we record, the direction you gave me, because quite honestly, the fitness channel is one thing, but the wrestling channel has been all over the place. And I've been
Sure.
really hoping and thinking and praying about structure, but not really acting on it for the past few weeks. And you kind of been watching me flounder around and trying to figure it out. But the advice you gave me and the structure that now moving forward will be the schedule for Stevie Richards Wrestling Analysis. I have to thank you. You have been, just incredible with the advice. And now I'm going to put you on the spot and tell you to take your own advice when it comes to the Big Mike Barons brand. So there we go.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, no, I appreciate you too. It was a great conversation for an hour and 40 minutes. And now that we've got a short timetable to record, but it would genuinely, we joke about it, but I do appreciate the conversations. And I hope that comes through for everybody listening that Stevie and I have a genuine friendship and we like to hold each other a little accountable as best we can when doing these things. So anyway, as far as today's episode, let's actually get to recording it now after almost 2 hours.
The thing is that we hold each other accountable, and you ask me very, very tough questions and you give me very, very tough advice that, obviously, we want to do certain things, but then we have to kind of think of about as a business, and we have to think about it as the brass tacks of everything. And, it might not be the best segue, but in this episode 45, talking about fast food compared to cooking at home, it might seem like a very remedial type thing. But recently on YouTube, I put up a little thing about, there's people out there that say it's cheaper to eat fast food than go to the supermarket or the grocery store or the farmer's market or anywhere else, bring it home and cook it. And when I put that up, there was actually some pushback with people that doubled down.
Yeah.
That no. The fast food, much, much better, not healthier. They do maybe kind of take that and concede that fact, which I guess that's progress. But to say that you get more value out of buying fast food than cooking at home in 2024, mind you, because we're going to give prices and parameters. We feel like we need to make this episode for some ungodly reason. People need to be educated that there is a difference. I don't know why. But,
it's maddening to me that we are even we're covering this topic, because the idea that fast food is cheaper than eating at home it's just crazy. And it so speaks to the narrative that is made about fast food and how you can see the cheap things and the dollar menus that aren't dollars anymore. Maybe at a time back in the day when fast food was really cheap, it might have been close, but it's just not even possible. And I think it's crazy how we can justify things in our minds of what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Fast food, first of all, it's just not healthy, right? And so that's a huge piece of it. But the cost, and I'm guilty of this. We've talked about this before in past episodes where we talked about the amount of money wasted on fast food and going out to eat and things like that. There's months in my past where I've spent $1,000 on fast food or going out to eat.
Wow.
$1,000 in a month. Who has a grocery bill that's $1,000 a month? You know what I mean?
Like have a boogie documentary soon on.
It was so bad, man. And I remember looking at it, and I used like the Mint tracker for the finances and stuff, and it categorized everything. And when I went through and categorized everything properly, I was like, are you kidding me? I just wasted $1,000 on fast food and going out to eat. And it was insane. And $1,000 of groceries will go a long way. And this was years ago, before I had a family of 5. Now I have a family of 5, and we don't spend $1,000 a month on groceries.
But that was actually the actual real dollar menu stuff that you can get with fast food, and you still spend $1,000 a month.
Right. And I mean, you factor in, it wasn't all fast food. It was going out to eat and stuff too. Like my wife and I would go to a restaurant and sit down and have a dinner, but every time you go to eat for 2 people, it was $40, $50, and that was That was almost 10 years ago when that would happen. So going out to eat now, we can't go out to eat for, because there's 5 of us, for less than damn near $100 if we go to a nice restaurant. Even if we go like, uh, we'll stop at McDonald's once in a while and get the kids a Happy Meal or something like that. And even if we just get that, it's 25, $30 just
Yeah.
for that stuff. And it's just, it's crazy to think how much food you can buy for 25, $30 and make from home and cook from home. And now the more that I've gotten into homesteading a little bit and cooking from home and making things from scratch, holy cow. It's so obvious to me
Yeah.
that cooking at home is cheaper than eating fast food.
Yeah. Well, also with that, I'm sure because of obviously your health, fitness, especially nutrition person, certified nutrition
Yeah,
person, go look them up.
sure.
When you take your kids to McDonald's to have a Happy Meal, fully aware that
Sure.
there's nothing happy about that meal. There's
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
nutritious. As a matter of fact, on a side note, I did go to Target, which isn't even the cheapest grocery store, just a preview for a little bit from now, just because people say, well, it's Walmart, that's Aldi, I want the Target. And I filmed B-roll of buying the actual stuff, totaling, and I struggled actually in a way, even with inflation. I
Mhm.
was struggling to get to $20 with buying the
Sure.
stuff that's obviously healthy and not exciting
Sure.
as much as going out to eat. But getting back to your kids, it's gotta kind of like bother you too that like every kid wants to go to McDonald's for a Happy Meal, but you're like, "Well, I feel bad that I'm putting this
Oh,
crap
sure.
in my kids' bodies."
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean,
How do you deal with that? I know you got to sometimes shut them up, but
sure. Sure.
but but how do you deal with that thing where you're battling your own inner
Yeah.
logic with that?
Yeah. We don't do it nearly as frequently as we used to, but every once in a while there's a McDonald's in the town that we live in. We live in a small town, and it's one of those small towns that the only like chain place to eat is a McDonald's, because McDonald's is everywhere, right? And so once in a while we'll take the kids and get a Happy Meal, and they just want the toy more than anything. My oldest is getting old enough where she doesn't really care so much about the toy, but they like the French fries and they like the burger and the chicken nuggets. And so every once in a while we'll get it. And I hate it. And if my wife tries to do it more than I say something. Her parents are guilty of doing it a little more often than I'm okay with. But I hate doing it, but once in a while, and that's where like within the world of nutrition, once in a while isn't going to kill you, right? It's still not the best thing for you, but if you only do things once in a while, your body can handle it, your body can process it, your body can work through it. If you're doing it consistently, if you're going to McDonald's every single freaking day and getting something to eat there, your body just can't keep up, right? But if you only have McDonald's, let's say once a month, that to me that's too much. But if you only do it once a month, your body can actually process it. Now that's if you're not eating out at other restaurants the other times of the month, but like if you only have fast food once a month, it's not going to be the end of the world, but it's still not the best thing for you. So I don't love it, but I do it because it just is a treat and a thing for the kids. And I'm sure I'll get some hate because I've heard parents talk about, um, don't treat your kids with food and whatever. Don't tell me how to parent my kids.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have cats either. You try to
Right.
clip their nails and everything. You got to give them treats afterwards. Can you do me a favor? You got some stuff you bring up, but I would like it if you could bring up and see if the prices of, say, McDonald's. I know Subway has it, but let's talk about McDonald's and maybe Chick-fil-A, since people think that's the healthiest fast food out there. Which, by the way, I'm going to on the. I bought the stuff at Target. The other end of it is I am going to buy a meal or buy $20 worth of stuff from, say, Chick-fil-A or something like that. My second experiment that I saw many people do, I'm going to leave that chicken nuggets or the chicken sandwich or the chicken patty just out for like a month
Mhm.
and see what the chicken patty looks like. Because I saw the video,
Yeah.
it hadn't changed. And
Ah.
I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm not a certified nutrition person like you. But I would say if a chicken patty is on the counter for a month and doesn't even degrade, there, there might be something a little suspect with that. What do the
Right.
kids say? Sus? Is that what they say?
I'm looking at Happy Meals pricing. They don't
Because
have.
I want to tell you, I'm going to bring up the B, just a B roll on my phone just so I can see.
Sure.
Okay, I bought a 30 pack of eggs from Target, which wasn't super cheap, but 3.89 for 30. I bought two, so that's 60 eggs. And this is the
Okay.
video I'm going to put up on my channel. 60 eggs. I went around, I got the bag, excuse me, of rice. Not even the cheapest rice, because the cheapest rice was 99 cents for a
Hmm.
bag that had 20 servings. I got the one for $1.79. Then I
Mm.
was like, okay, well, say that's like $8 for the eggs. Let's call it $2 for the what you call for the rice. And I
Hmm.
was like, okay, well, I can buy canned chicken, four cans of chicken for $10. So there's my $20. I didn't do that. I said, okay, well, what if I want to add something? I want to make sandwiches, or I want to have toast with the eggs or whatever. I bought it. A loaf of bread is $3.79. So I still have $6 or $7 left
Hmm.
to spend, which I could buy a few cans of tuna. I could buy some chicken. I could even buy some ground beef that I can get a few servings out of. So you're averaging 20 servings. 20 servings. I'm not saying you have now if you're broke like we were when we started wrestling, you're gonna eat tuna, rice, eggs. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna peel a potato like Steve Austin did from a convenience store. These are what we did to survive and pay our
Sure.
dues. But
Sure.
the fact of the matter is that with eggs, tuna, a little bit of ground beef, some rice, maybe bread if you want bread, you're talking 20, $25 could probably feed you for the entire week.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
entire week.
Right.
Is it sexy? Is it fun? Is it exciting? Actually, what I did too was with that, Target has Thousand Island salad dressings, or their brand of salad dressing.
Mm, yeah.
It's $1.99. It's cheaper than anywhere else. So go to Target if you like salad dressing. Mix that with the tuna, with the eggs, with the rice, even with the bread. For still under $20, that was about $15.
Yeah.
You're getting 20 servings of everything that you want.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
to me that's the video I'm going to make, and then I'm going to buy. And I guarantee you, Chick-fil-A, you're going to get maybe
Well, speaking of that, yeah.
one meal for about 15 to $20 if you get a combo. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, okay. So the sandwich
I was buying
is.
you time, by the way. That's
Yes.
like you
No,
had
it's
to cut me
perfect. That's
off.
perfect. The $5.19 just for the Chick-fil-A sandwich, just the chicken sandwich. It's
So
a
that's
chicken
more
breast.
than 30. That's more than 30 eggs from Target, not Walmart or Aldi, which you can get
Right.
them cheaper. That is more. That one sandwich is more money than 30 eggs, which could be, if you do 3 eggs, that's 10 servings.
Right.
Say
And so
something like that.
think about this just to show and illustrate, and this is kind of going to be the end all be all for the conversation here is chicken breast is, that's a good healthy protein option, get some good protein. $5.19. Yes, you get a bun, and yes, you get a couple pickles on there. So they're
But you
factor in
also
that.
get everything they process that it can sit out for a month. Sorry, I
Right.
keep cutting you
Right.
off.
No, that's good, man. So but so then if you look at Walmart, if you just look at Walmart and you buy this raw chicken breast from Walmart, you get 4 or 5 pound tray of it. 5 pounds
Yep.
is the average for $13. So that's just a little bit more than two of those sandwiches.
Well, let's go to
And
that
if,
3 pack, which is closer to the price.
well, yeah,
804. You're getting 3 real chicken breasts that you can know what you put on the chicken breast,
yep,
and you can buy some bread for a couple bucks. So for $10, you're out the door.
right, right. And so you just can't. And so like if you look at this 3 pack, we're $8.04, and if you buy three of the sandwiches, you're doing 519. Let's do the exact amount. 519 times three is $15.55. So it's double the cost of the $8 essentially.
For one serving.
Yeah,
Or
for one serving. Yep,
yeah.
double the cost for 3 days. If we were going to make a sandwich out of these for 3 days, and the chicken breasts are a lot bigger in this container than they are in the chicken that you get at Chick-fil-A. And so this Chick-fil-A, if you buy 3 of these sandwiches, you're talking almost $16. If you buy this, you're getting 3 sandwiches that are bigger, healthier, better for you for half the cost And I mean, you can't beat it as far as I'm concerned with what you're from a financial perspective. There's just no question that
Mm,
fast food is not anywhere near, even if you look at the dollar menu. So I'll see if I can pull up a dollar menu
okay.
with chicken breast and stuff like that. But like,
And this
I try to,
isn't most of the time. This isn't even real food. It's
right,
not even a real food. Have you ever eaten out? Which you have at fast food and restaurants. Even the restaurants. When I eat the food, number one, I don't feel anywhere near as full as when I cook my own meals at home. And number
right,
two, it usually has so much sodium and other stuff mixed in, whatever. Yeah, I almost get sick when I eat out or when I eat at a fast food place. I'm not saying I
sure.
never do it, but you ever get home and you're like, oh my God, my stomach feels like it's churning and I'm hungry. I'm not even full. And I spent a couple months, you spend all this money and you feel really, Dave Ramsey famously said this when you go out to eat, it's not for the food, it's for the entertainment. Date
Yeah.
nights and other thing. It's about getting out of the house sometimes and just going out and spending time somewhere else.
Yeah,
And that
totally.
can be very, very expensive for there's other ways to get entertainment too.
Yeah,
The,
no,
they can't
definitely.
even call it a chicken, it's a McChicken. And
Well,
by the
and
way, KFC, I saw this article. I'm a conspiracy theorist, by the way. Um, they're 3D printing chicken now.
oh God.
Yep. So, and they're doing that lab meat chicken too that supposedly grows from tumors.
Oh
That's
wow.
all been that's all
That's
been
awesome.
cleared by the FDA.
That's awesome.
I mean, why would they hurt you?
Yeah, yeah, no big deal. No problem. Well, the McDonald's, I can't even pull up the pricing because they don't have it listed on their
Keep
website.
raising it. That's why.
Well, so I went and I looked at this was the dollar, $2 and $3 menu, and that's what we're looking at here. So this is all the food that's on the dollar, $2 and $3 menu. And I feel like the drinks are all $1, but then these are $2. They've gone up to, I think the McDouble's $2 now, So I don't know the pricing on this because I just don't eat there enough to know the prices of it. And the only way I can see it is by having the app on my phone to look up the prices. And I don't have the app on my phone, so I can't look it up. And I'm not going to download it for the purposes of the
No.
show
Yeah.
because screw it. but the point is if you look at this chicken, this McChicken, so yeah, you can say that it's $2, right? It's a $2 chicken breast, but the size of this chicken breast is a lot different than this chicken breast. And if you can even call this a chicken breast, I don't think you can call this a chicken breast. This is not, I don't know how many chicken
It's a
breasts are,
McChicken.
yeah,
There's a reason they
shaped that
call it a
way.
Mc. It's not because of McDonald's. I think legally that's not a chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen the video where they were um with the meat. It didn't look like meat. It looked like it was going through. It looked like Play-Doh. You
Sure.
ever see that video
Yeah.
where they're putting it through like Play-Doh and then they're adding ammonia and other things to it? And oh my God, things
Yeah.
that you would put in your body normally on its own would probably kill you. And
Yeah.
good Lord, I sent you the fry video too, where Cat Williams, he's been breaking the internet talking about fries that McDonald's
Mhm.
sprays so much stuff to kill the animals and the bugs that you can't even touch those. A human being cannot touch what's on those fries for 3 to 4 weeks. So they clear it before they even wash it because it's so toxic to human beings.
Right. Right. No, I get it. And I think with that, just the whole nutrition piece of the food that you're getting at a fast food place there, and I don't know. So maybe if I'm talking out of turn, but I have a general idea that they're working on creating food for the yields, purchasing it for the yields, cutting the cheese thinner so that it has cheese in it, but it's not real cheese. And so it's a thin slice versus a thick slice that you would get at a store. So it's thicker, you're getting more. The hamburger patties are so thin. And so the meat that they buy in these fast food places have gotten so much buying power that they're able to dictate how things work, and they're trying to drive costs down. And that's one of the things that happen in any industry. It doesn't matter if it's food or not. Any industry, if you're trying to offer the lowest price, you have to cut costs somewhere. And cutting costs means you're not getting the best processed foods or best processed items. If you're talking about a pair of shoes, you're not going to buy a pair of shoes at Walmart for 20 bucks and then go buy them at the Nike store for 120 bucks and have the same shoe. Yeah, it's going to be close. It's probably going to be close, but there's going to be a difference in the quality because of what you're paying. Unless the brand has got the wool pulled over your eyes so bad, then you're just paying out the butt for no reason. But for the most part, in most consumer items, the cheaper it is, the less quality is. It's why there's different choice cuts of steak, right? Like there's a high quality cut of steak that's organic, grass-fed beef, or you can buy your beef from Walmart, right? And they're not the same. They're not the same price. And it's just a different quality. And so these fast food restaurants are able to offer such low prices because they buy in massive quantities and they buy the cheapest stuff that you can possibly get. That's where items like a McChicken comes from, because it's just cheap chicken pieces smushed together in a tube to make paste so they can form it into a patty. You know? So from a nutrition perspective, the food that you're getting, while it might seem like it's convenient and it might seem like it's easy to get and it's not expensive for you to get, then it's just not nutritionally of any value because it's over flavored, it's over salted, over sugared to make you really taste it and become addicted to the food so that you want more of it. That's why McDonald's tastes so dang good when you have it, because it's got an insane amount of flavoring and salt and sugars and all that kind of stuff added to it so you can get addicted to it. And so not only is it not cheaper, it's not better for you either. And yeah, so I get fired up when I start talking about it. Sorry.
I give people a little advice out there. If you're ever dying from a spine infection, you find yourself at the Mayo Clinic, the food there is excellent. It really is. That would be the one place I would say you want a burger from the Mayo Clinic, and they were very good. I missed that food.
Nice.
Didn't have to cook. I couldn't cook. I couldn't even walk.
Yeah. One of the things I think people run into when they start to justify this conversation of fast food is cheaper and it's easier. It definitely is easier. You know, there's a guy online that I listen to, Alex Hormozy is his name. He talks about, very famously in his content, he talks about how for years, all he ever ate was Chipotle. He had Chipotle for lunch and dinner every day because for him, it was cost effective because he didn't have to take the time to eat, and Chipotle was relatively healthy compared to a fast food restaurant. And so for the burrito that he would get every day, it would be like $12 for lunch and $12 for supper. But in his head, he was able to justify it because he didn't have to cook, he didn't have to clean, he didn't have to prep any food, he didn't have to do anything like that. So in his mind, it was cost effective. Cheaper? No, definitely not cheaper, but it was cost effective. And so I'm not saying fast food is your best option, because it's not, but could it be cost effective? And I think maybe that's where people get confused, or like a gray area versus cost effective and cheaper. If you factor in all of the other things that have to come into play, it might be cost effective for you to stop and get a burrito. When we're on the road, it's cost effective to get something versus take our KitchenAid with us and take our pots and pans with us and all that kind of stuff, because we're not going to have a place to cook it. And we got to get a hotel room with an oven and a stove and all that kind of stuff if we want to cook our own food. So on the road, it's cost effective to get a burrito at Chipotle. But is it cheaper to make a burrito at home and take it with you? Heck yeah, it is. And so it's those kind of things where I think the conversation gets a little muddied and people thinking cheap, cost effective is the same thing when they're really not.
Well, a guy like that too is, he's one of those red badge courage, toxic, hustle grind guy, 100 hours a week. I'm just saying, like,
sure,
if you're working 100 hours a week, yeah. I mean, and then didn't he have a trick? There was a trick that was famous, and I tried it out, and it worked. If you go to Chipotle right before closing, you get extra. Extra. Yeah, I tried that part. That worked. So, if you're broke, there's certain little tricks you can do. I used to, when we were wrestling in Philly and I had no money, that's when Wendy's had the buffet. Remember? Buffet? Dude, I'd bring a freezer bag and freaking load that up. So you can, there's certain ways you could still, I mean, they're done with buffets and everything.
Sure.
But I look at that and I got to challenge or push back a little bit on the thing of that not the cost effectiveness, but saying it's so difficult to meal prep. And
Oh,
dude, you
yeah.
buy an air fryer and an Instapot, you just walk away from it.
Yep.
A crock pot, any of that stuff. It's easier than ever to cook
Yeah.
your food because you're not cooking your food. You're literally throwing all the ingredients in one fell swoop,
Yep.
setting the Instapot or the Instafryer or the air fryer, and literally walking away.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
make a week's worth of food off of that. I mean,
Yep.
that's where I say, especially with that dude, like he might have even hired a meal service because that dude's an
Oh,
influencer.
sure.
He could have went
Oh, yeah.
to Factor or something and said, "Hey, for in exchange for sending me meals, I'll promote you. I'll get an affiliate link, and then he could have monetized the fact that
Sure.
he was doing that. There's always a way to do that.
Sure.
So the whole thing when he says that, I think it's just what we hate about social media and YouTube videos, that quick little life hack that in the
Sure.
short that,
Sure.
oh, this is how I do it. And, people
Sure.
are so
Sure.
whatever. Same to
No,
think
I
that
get it.
fast food's cheaper. I'm just going
Yeah.
off my own little tangent. Yeah.
I will say, like, to that point of the meal prepping and people saying that we do fast food because it's more convenient and it's easier and we can't meal prep and all this kind of stuff. I think that there is something to this, and you know that I just recently taught myself how to make bread, and I made bread for the first time. But for a while, I was like hesitant to do it because I had never done it before, and so like I was scared that it was going to be more involved and it was going to take more time and it was going to be this super complicated thing, and because you got to let bread rise and all this kind of stuff. And so I was almost like not scared of it, obviously, but scared of it. And I think sometimes that happens now having gone through that process of making the bread after being for months, I've said I want to make bread, but I'd never sat down to do it because it was always intimidating and I was scared of it. But then I did it. And I was just like, oh, that's all, and I think that's what you were saying with just stick it in the Instapot, stick it in the crock pot, put it in the air fryer and it's done. I think it's that piece of it for a lot of people. If you've never meal prepped before, it can be a very intimidating thing because you see all these things online that are like these super fancy meals and these super fancy foods and all this kind of stuff that people are meal prepping. You don't need to do that,
You don't
and it's
need to lay out 20 meal prep containers for the
right.
entire week. You just got to cook for a few days and
Well, even
put it
if
in
you
the
just prep
fridge.
before you leave for the day, just
Yeah.
prep that morning real quick. It's like I have kids. And so my oldest two go to school every day. They don't get